Alright, guys. Normally, I'm not one to get too involved in what's going on in the media with certain sensitive subjects, but I couldn't help myself after days and days of watching hunters being absolutely torn apart by anti-hunters. I felt like it was my responsibility as a hunter to give my 2 cents about what's going on and try to hopefully educate a couple people on the subject of hunting and conservation, and especially trophy hunting. I feel like if I can persuade one person through this video that it's doing its job. So I want to start off by talking about the lion recently that's been all over the internet and everyone's an expert on it. So here's a reality check. Nobody knows what actually happened except for the hunter, the PH, and the outfitting company that took him on this hunt. Now, I've been to South Africa. I've been fortunate enough to be able to hunt um, over there, and I tell you what, you pay a lot of money to go to South Africa, and one of the things you pay for is to be with a PH and an outfitter that knows the rules, knows the laws, and is going to set you up in an area that's legal to hunt. So I'm not defending him by any means. If he knew about it, he needs to pay the price. But what I will say is that if he was instructed to hunt this lion in this certain area and it was illegal and he didn't know about it or was not aware of it, I feel absolutely terrible for him. I couldn't imagine being part of his family. I couldn't imagine being him. He is under the most well, he's one of the most hated people in America right now, and I feel bad for him if he really didn't know. However, if he did know, he needs to be punished. That's poaching. If he broke the law, it's poaching. Um, that's the difference between us, people like me, who are regular hunters, who abide by all the laws, and people that don't. We commonly get thrown into the same category that we're all just these blood-crazed killers. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. I hate poaching. I absolutely despise it. When I was in Africa, we had an incident with a poacher that had came onto the property the night before. We actually found his footprints and blood behind it. And it was my first real, I guess you could call it the first shock of what poaching truly was over there in Africa. I asked our PH, I said, so he was in here last night? And he said, yes. And I said, well, how come we didn't hear a gunshot or anything? He said, they don't use guns. And it got me thinking. I said, wow, well, how do they do it at night like that? And he said, they have dogs that they have cut their throats and cut their vocal cords out of their throats, stitched them back up, and then they send them out and they circle the animal, and then they repeatedly stab the animal with spears. Now take a second and think about that for a minute. That is not hunting. That is poaching. That is killing. That is wrong. And that's what us as hunters are trying to fight. We're trying to get people to realize that our money, all this money that we're putting into licenses and trips and everything, is all towards conservation. Now, sure, there are people out there that hunt just because they like to hunt. They want to fill their freezers. They enjoy hunting, whatever. But then there's people like us here at ZG Outdoors that do it for more than just the fact that we like to hunt. We're giving money to different programs like SCI, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, all these programs that are helping with conservation, fighting poaching, and helping the herds and the animals flourish. We want to see them, I'm a young guy, I want to see my grandkids hunting healthier herds of elk than we have now. I want to see them hunting animals that in the past I can't hunt because they're endangered. Okay, we want to help the populations. And through trophy hunting and hunting in general, we can accomplish that. So I wrote down some statistics here to kind of give you an idea about what hunting has done, and especially what trophy hunting has done. So in 1900, there were less than 50 white rhinos remaining in the entire world. Today, there are 20,000 plus. Rhino conservation efforts were driven by South Africa And in the last 50 years, they've increased the numbers from 50 to 20,000. That's absolutely insane. Here's another one right here. In 1907, only 41,000 elk remained in North America. Thanks to the money and the hard work invested by hunters, there are more than 1 million elk in North America today. Now, you can not like hunting. It's not for everyone. That's fine. I don't want everyone to be a hunter. But you can't deny the facts of what hunting has done. You know, there's a little scenario that I use to explain to people that are against trophy hunting. Basically, it goes like this. Let's say you own a piece of property, and there's a herd of elk that moves through your property from time to time. Yeah, they're probably nice to look at. There might be some big bulls, maybe not. But you're not going to do anything to help that herd, more than likely. You'll just watch them walk through. You're not going to do anything to hurt them, but you're not going to do anything extra to help them. They'll just live off of whatever they've got and hopefully survive like that. But what if I came in and told you, I'll pay you $10,000 for every elk that scores over 350 inches? Now, if you're completely anti-hunting, you might say something like, get away, no way, take your hunting self somewhere else. But the majority of people are going to start thinking, he's going to pay me 10 grand for every bull that scores over 350 inches on my property? What can I do to help that herd produce more bulls that are 350 inches so I can make more money? So in return for that $10,000 bull that I want to hunt, what are you going to do? You're going to be putting in water holes. You're going to be increasing the feed. You're going to be figuring out, how can I keep all the elk on my property so that none of the other hunters can shoot them before they're fully mature? How can I ensure that the cows and the calves are healthy so that they can grow into big bulls and produce good breeding pairs to produce mature and healthy animals? That is all because of hunting. Basically, in a nutshell, that's what trophy hunting is. You're paying all this money, and in return, you're giving the animal a monetary value, and that value is helping increase the populations. There was a small area in Africa, a country in Africa, that banned leopard hunting for a long time, and the people in that area have to have a source of income. So once they banned leopard hunting, they had to go back to farming sheep. So since they're farming sheep, they're not making very much money. They need every single sheep to survive and grow to its full potential so that they can sell it and make a penny. Well, they started having problems with the leopards. They were coming in and feeding on the sheep, killing the sheep, essentially taking their money away. So what did the people in that country do? They started poisoning. They started shooting. They started killing the leopards in any way they could, dragging them into the brush and letting them die. So, a few years later, the country implemented leopard hunting again. So what happened? All the people there decided, well, we don't need these sheep anymore, sold off all their sheep, and started figuring out a way to help the leopard population grow, because now that leopard's worth a lot of money. When you give an animal a monetary value, they are more protected and more managed to ensure the health of the herd. And that's what conservation does, and that's what trophy hunting does. And a lot of people don't understand that. So just to give people an idea about the amount of money that us hunters give to conservation programs each year, just through license sales, hunters pay $796 million a year to conservation programs. We are the #1 contributor to conservation. And the one thing that I need to address too is the backlash towards people that post pictures of their trophies. I'm sitting there and I'm going through the comments on all these separate posts. I mean, almost anywhere you look, any media outlet has shared this lion story. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading some of the comments that are so brutal and so vulgar, it makes me ask the question, how does that make you as a person any better than the guy that took the lion? If you're completely against hunting and there's no way to persuade you, that's fine. You know, there's some people that are hard-headed and some people that aren't willing to listen to the facts, but what I have to ask is, how does saying stuff like, "You are absolutely disgusting, I hope you rot in hell, and we should all start hunting hunters," how does that make you any better of a person? And secondly, how can you say that to somebody? Regardless of whether what they did was wrong or not, to say something like that about a hunter is completely mind-blowing. I don't understand how that can make you a better person than the guy that took the life of a lion. So the last thing I want to talk about is a challenge that I have for all hunters out there. If you, as a hunter, have ever been under some sort of attack or anything like that, you know what it feels like. Now, I don't want people to feel sorry for us, because what we do is what we choose to do, and it's not illegal. It's a way of life. It is the reason why we have the animals we have today, whether you want to believe it or not. It is. Whether you're anti-hunting, a hunter, whatever, you can't deny those facts. But my challenge is this: as a hunter, don't lash out. If you've got somebody saying things to you, making terrible comments, questioning your right and privilege to hunt, um, don't stoop to their level. Stay at a higher level. Educate people. Teach people. Try to get people to realize why we hunt. Try to get people to realize what it does for conservation. If there's anything that I could tell every hunter out there, it would be this: we are under such a microscope right now. Anti-hunters are looking for a reason to ridicule us. They're looking for every little thing they can. Don't give it to them. Do everything you can. Don't be ashamed of being a hunter. I'm one of the biggest hunters out of all my friends, everybody I know, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. But I also take pride in the fact that I do everything legally. I take pride in the fact that I present the animal after it's been taken in a quality, professional, clean, respectable manner. You know, in your trophy photos, take good trophy photos. That's respect to that animal. You know, don't how would I say it? Don't necessarily you don't necessarily have to show all the nasty parts of hunting, as far as, you know, the gutting and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't have to be shown. You know, respect the animal you've just taken. Make sure you're abiding by all the laws. If it's in question, don't do it. If you're not sure you're on legal property, get off of it. If you're not sure a certain animal is legal size, don't shoot it. Follow all the laws. Don't give anti-hunters a reason to ridicule us. We are the greatest thing that's ever happened to conservation. Don't ruin it. We are under such a microscope right now with everyone that wants to get rid of hunting, get rid of guns. They're looking for reasons. Don't give them any reasons. Abide by the laws. Use your money towards conservation. And present the animal in a respectable manner. That's my challenge to all hunters. And don't lash out against anti-hunters. People have their right to their opinion. Let them have their right. Our opinion is we love hunting. Their opinion is that they don't. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can, try to educate. Now, there are some people that are hard-headed and not open-minded. Me, I love sitting down with people that are anti-hunters and having an open-minded conversation. Not a yelling match, not a screaming match, but a conversation about hunting and listen to their views. Listen to them. And then use facts to help persuade them to realize that you don't have to be a hunter to understand that hunting is good for the animals. It has increased their populations, it's increased their health. There is no denying that. So my challenge to you hunters is to educate. Don't lash out. Don't post negative things about anti-hunters on the internet. Educate people. Teach people. Show people what we do. And get them to realize that what we're doing is not just killing all the animals. That's not what we want to do. What we're trying to do is keep the populations in check and keep them thriving through hunting. Teach people that. That's my challenge to you, is just to try to find a way to teach people and educate people about hunting. And I feel like as hunters, that is our job. We get to hunt and see things that most people will never ever see in their life. I have seen things that 90% of the population will never get to see in their life. And I feel very privileged, but I feel like it is my job as a hunter to teach people about the benefits of hunting, the benefits of trophy hunting, and to get people to understand that the people that are poaching animals that you see on the internet are not hunters. Those are not normal hunters. As hunters, we don't like those people. We despise poachers. That's not us. So do your job as a hunter. Educate people. Teach people about the benefits of trophy hunting. I'm Kyle Glacken. Make sure to share this video, and hopefully we can persuade at least one person.